Every time you dive into a pool, you're placing a good deal of trust in invisible chemistry. That sparkling water may look clean, feel clean, even smell clean, but as we've learned, appearances can be deceiving. So how do we really know if a pool is safe? Behind the scenes, water quality monitoring is the critical process that separates a refreshing dip from a microbial roulette wheel. And while the tools and standards for this process are well established, let's just say not every pool is playing the same game. Pool operators are supposed to test the water regularly, often multiple times a day, for key indicators of safety. The two big stars of the pool chemistry world are chlorine and pH, and like any complicated duo, they work best in balance. Chlorine is the disinfectant, the microbial bouncer that takes care of bacteria, viruses, and whatever questionable substances humans bring into the pool with them. pH, on the other hand, determines how effective that chlorine will be. Too high or too low, and chlorine either stops working properly or starts irritating the skin and eyes of swimmers. The ideal range? Chlorine should sit between 1 to 3 parts per million, ppm, and pH should hover between 7.2 and 7.8. Drift too far from these numbers, and you get either a germy petri dish or a chemical stew. Most facilities use test kits or digital sensors to monitor these levels, and in a perfect world, they do it at least 2 to 3 times per day, more often in busy pools or warm environments. Larger or newer pools may have automated systems that dose chlorine and acid on the fly, which sounds fancy until something malfunctions and the pool quietly turns into a skin-peeling hazard zone, while the lifeguard on duty wonders why everyone's eyes are glowing red. But there's a dirty little secret in the industry. Testing for pathogens like Cryptosporidium, Giardia, or Legionella is not part of daily or even weekly routine. In fact, these kinds of microbial invaders are often only tested after an outbreak, when it's already too late and multiple people are calling their doctors about stomach cramps or unexplained rashes. That's because pathogen testing is expensive, requires lab analysis, and results can take days. So most pools rely on maintaining preventative disinfectant levels and hope it's enough to keep the bad guys at bay. Spoiler: sometimes it's not. Standards for water quality monitoring vary wildly, depending on the jurisdiction. In the US, for example, the CDC doesn't directly regulate pools. It only offers guidelines through something called the Model Aquatic Health Code, MAHC, a beautifully detailed document that's about as widely read as the terms and conditions on your phone. Some states and counties adopt parts of the MAHC, some invent their own codes, and others seem to follow the "if it's not green, we're good" approach. Enforcement is equally uneven. A public pool in a big city might get inspected monthly, while a motel pool in the middle of nowhere might go years without a visit from a health official, assuming the health official can even find it. In theory, guests can spot clues about pool quality: clear water, visible drains at the deep end, mild or no chemical smell, and posted records of recent chemical checks. Some pools have logbooks available for public view, though many keep them behind the scenes, if they exist at all. If you really want to play detective, you can bring your own test strips. They're cheap and sold at most hardware stores, and check the water yourself. It's not exactly a glamorous poolside activity, but neither is catching norovirus during your vacation. Ultimately, knowing whether a pool is safe comes down to a combination of operator diligence, infrastructure quality, local regulations, and a good helping of luck. The technology exists to keep pools clean, clear, and pathogen-free, but it only works if it's used properly, consistently, and backed by real oversight. So next time you're wading into a pool, take a look around. If the lifeguard seems more focused on their TikTok than their test kit, or the water's cloudy enough to hide a small shark, maybe just stick to the lounge chair and order a cold drink. Sometimes the best kind of swimming is the imaginary kind, especially when the chemical balance is one step away from science fiction.